everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Have another Microman Magne Powers review for you today. These are the Change Troopers. As you can see, it's only 3 of them, 6, 8, and 10. There's 7 and 9 that I don't have yet. But I wanted to at least take a look at these guys because I was pretty excited about them. So the Change Troopers are allies of Microman, and they kind of turn into little vehicles. As you can see, here's Arthur riding. They show Arthur riding all 3 of them. But they're basically robots. They have little vehicle modes, and then very similar to the Zen mines we saw the other day, they can connect to those larger robots as arms with the magnets. So again, I don't have those larger robots. I really need to try to track down some of them because there's so much more functionality you can get out of these once you have them. But yeah, so this is Drill Joe, Hover Jack, and Bomber Head. So I love the names for these things. They're fantastic. But here's the robot mode. Shows you how to transform it. Here is the lineup. So this is, I think this is, because you can see they go backwards. So that's 7 and that's 9. So this looks like Tomahawk and Spinner, maybe? Spinry? I don't know. He turns into like a bike, and I'm not sure. Tomahawk turns into another one of these kind of like weird vehicle type things. But then here are the larger robots that they can connect to with the magnets. So pretty cool. So that's Drill Joe. Here is Hover Jack. And then here is Bomber Head. This one looks like it was previously opened, so unfortunately for me, I think it should be fine though. So I'm going to go ahead and get these open and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here are these 3 out of the packaging. They all transform pretty much the same way. They all have the same basic body type. They all come with one accessory that they can hold over here in their hand. So you can see Drill Joe has a large drill weapon. And then he has this drill here on the front piece. So basically how the body type is for all these guys, you can see that there's a piece of metal here in the chest hidden by the kind of chest accessory. And that's for when they combine with the larger robots, which like I said, unfortunately I don't have one of to show you. But it's very similar to how the Zen mines connected. So they have that ability to become like an arm. But you can see they have a chrome head, which looks pretty cool. That is on a ball joint, so that can move around. Ball joint in the shoulder, you have a ball joint in the elbow, ball joint in the hip, and ball joint in the knee. They have one hand that can hold something. This hand has a magnet built into it. And then only one of the feet has a magnet. So, not sure why, but that's how they decided to go with it. So you get one hand with a magnet, one foot with a magnet. The other 2 do not have any magnets, but still pretty cool. Pretty neat little figure. I think you can display this on the back if you would like. Yeah, that should connect there. So if you want some weapon storage, you can put that there, which I actually think looks pretty cool. Kind of gives them like little wings on the back. Or if you really wanted to, you could turn it around if you wanted to give him the drill sticking off the back, which is also kind of a cool look and also still kind of gives you the wings. So you have a little bit of options there. But we'll get into the transformation. It's really simple, and like I said, they all transform pretty much exactly the same way. So right down here, you can see that there's kind of a peg that's kind of wedged in between these 2 pieces of plastic down here. You can see that. So you're just going to pull that away, and then this is going to flip around completely. Now, unfortunately, you can see I'm having a little bit of difficulty with these. Some of these don't, like you can see that kind of popped off, but it should be easy to remedy because it's just 2 tabs like that. So it's just kind of a friction deal, but you're supposed to be able to pull this around. So I guess that's as far as it goes. I thought it went up a little bit further, but so it goes about that far. Then you're going to take this and you can see that there's another peg hole right here. So that peg from earlier is going to flip around now and peg down into there. So you kind of just want to make sure the legs fit in between these 2 pieces of plastic that the arms are connected to. So you peg that down, and actually that went up a little bit more now, so I guess you had to wait until that was pegged back down. And then you just kind of leave the feet out like this, and then you just kind of tuck the arms against the body. They don't peg in at all. I kind of wish they did. I don't really know how you would, but you can also see that there's kind of like a clip here, and that's for this to slide on over like this. So I like to move the arms away so that I can kind of push that down and then just kind of tuck them back. And then you flip it around like this, and this is the top, the metal part on the top, the big metal ball. Got the drill in the front, got the drill in the back. That is the vehicle mode. It's all right. Some of these are more successful than others. Drill Joe's not my favorite, but he's all right. I'm going to bring in Arthur here. So they have these handles right here and here, which totally look like they're supposed to be able to fit into the hands. They don't really. Drill Joe has the ends a little beveled, as you can see, and so that might work. I don't want to force it, but yeah, they really don't fit. So the hands of these figures are not large enough, which is kind of a bummer. As you can kind of see, they're just, I mean, maybe I could squeeze it, but I'm not going to. The nice thing is, though, they do have the magnets in their chest, and then they have the big metal ball right here. So you can just kind of put the hands up like they're supposed to be on those, and then just kind of allow the magnet to hold the figure in place. And then just kind of position the legs how you want. And then he can ride it like that. It's not great. It's not perfect. It just seems to me like there's really, these don't serve any other purpose. Like they don't have any kind of dual purpose in the transformation or the robot mode or anything. So you could have made them thinner so that the hands would fit. I feel like there's no reason they couldn't have. But so be it. So they're okay riding like this. Honestly, you could also just have them use the magnets in the feet, the way they connect to the Zen mines. I don't know why they don't seem to stay as well. I guess just because of the balance of this figure, but that kind of works. It's not great, but it's all right. But yeah, you can at least use the magnet in the chest. So I'm going to just start transforming these guys. Like I said, they're all the same. Moving on to Hoverjack, he's got this kind of fan weapon. Take that out of his hand. Take a look at the, see if we can get in close there on the face sculpt. The chrome makes it a little bit difficult to really detect or even focus on. Come on, pal. Yep, no, want to do it? What do you think? Maybe, there we go. Like I said, the chrome kind of makes it hard to see the details, I'll be honest, but it looks really cool because I like chrome. So it's kind of a win some, lose some situation. But again, ball joint in the head, all the ball joints are the same two magnets. So pretty much exactly the same body type. You're going to transform it exactly the same way. This is going to flip around. This is going to come around. And for some reason, this one, the joint, I think this joint right here is really tight because I have trouble making it go down and fit. And also you can see like it almost doesn't fit in here, so it kind of pushes it in weirdly to the side. I mean, it still works, but it's a little off. And then you just do the same thing where you take this piece and pop it on the back. And then push this back in. This one's a little bit more successful, I think, because he has kind of the 3 fans for the hover vehicle. His pegs aren't beveled at all at the end, so there's absolutely no chance of him holding on to them. So once again, you would just use the metal to connect to the chest. And there you go. So like I said, it's not perfect, but I think it's a neat concept. I just wish all they would have really had to do is make these handlebars just a little thinner. Now maybe it was like a stress issue, and if they made it thinner, the plastic would break. I can understand that. I don't know, but then I feel like you gotta think about all that stuff when you design these things. All right, so moving on to the last guy here, Bomba Head. He's got this crazy giant weapon. I don't even know what's going on with this. It looks like a fan and some drills. Maybe they're just lasers. I don't know. But either way, heavy artillery. Looks crazy. He's got this chest piece with some missiles on the side, which is pretty cool, and then kind of a wheel molded in there, which is nice. See if we can take a close-up look at his head sculpt. Pretty cool. Like that. Again, same body types, so same articulation, same two magnets, that piece of metal there. So we'll transform him, flip this around, flip this down. That'll peg in. Fold that up. And then this piece will fit on the back. There we go. And there we have it. I kind of wish that these had, like, they have these big pieces on the back of the feet. I kind of wish they had some way to, like, lightly tab into these pieces that they slide onto the back. Just because I feel like it would give them somewhere to go. It doesn't need it, I guess, but... So there you go. That is that one. I don't know. I kind of like this one the best, I'll be honest. I feel like you could have a figure kind of sit back or stand back here on this. And that kind of works. But otherwise, you can do the chest magnet to... this metal ball here. Yeah, I don't know. They're not as successful as I wish they were, to be honest. It's a shame. But that kind of works. I think that looks kind of cool. So, I'll put him aside. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the 3 vehicles. Like I said, some of them are more successful than others. I kind of think I like this one the best. But I do kind of really like these two. Because he's got the wings at the back, he kind of looks almost like a jet that has like a drill fuselage. Then this almost kind of looks like, even though it's supposed to be like a drill, it almost looks like a fire or something coming out the back. I do kind of like the hover vehicle here because he's got the 3 hover pads, which I think kind of works. And I do kind of like this vehicle as well. Like I said, they're not great. They're not amazing vehicles. They all transform the same. It's the same base mold. But I think it's neat. I like the magnet aspect. I wish the other figures, the Micromen, could ride them a little better. At least you do have the magnet in the chest that can connect to this metal ball here. But I wish these weren't as thick as they were, so he could actually... Because if he could hold that plus the magnet, I feel like you'd be fine. It's just unfortunately, like I said, it might have been a stress thing. I'm thinking if they made them too much thinner, they might have just popped off, and that's probably why they did it. But then I almost feel like if you know it's not going to work, then don't include them at all. Because they're just here teasing me. I feel like I completely understand if you weren't confident enough to put them in there because you thought they would break if you made them thin. So then just don't include them. That's fine. Just don't bother with them. There's no reason to show me things that I can't use. But overall, I think the little vehicles are kind of neat. I think the robots are pretty cool. I really like how much articulation they have. That's one of my favorite things. Like, I liked the Zen mines, but I think these have even more articulation, which makes them fun. I mean, the Zen mines have the animal aspect as well, which makes them fun. But I really think these are fun just out of how quick they are to transform back and forth. I like that they have an accessory. So I really like everything about that. I like their designs, the amount of articulation they have. Just kind of everything about that. So I don't know. Like I said, for the few drawbacks they have, I would say the only major drawback they have is the fact that the Microman figures don't really ride them that fantastically. They don't attach that amazingly. But other than that, I think they're really fun. I like their designs. The vehicles they transform into are not the best, but they're passable. But I like the articulation. They have some magnets. The Zen mines don't have any magnets, so that's at least one step up that these guys have. And I like the accessories. So I definitely recommend checking them out. Let's see if I can get this going. I'm going to probably track down the other 2 that I don't have. It's just a matter of where I can find them. Because these things are about 20 years old at this point. I think they came out in 99 into 2000. So your best bet is like Yahoo Japan Auctions, Mandarake, things like that. So it's really just a question of where I can find them, how quickly I can find them, and so on and so forth. But they're fun. I wouldn't pay a fortune for them, but if you can get them for, $10 or less, I think they're worth it. I think there's definitely fun to be had here. So that's going to do it for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.